Love is a high-risk behavior.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast, High Risk for Heartbreak. I am your host, Christina, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. I know very little about building a house. I know very little about constructing a home for someone to live in from the ground up. What I do know is thanks to HGTV and studying real estate, renovations are much easier when you're working with a solid foundation. When you're buying an investment property or a home as your primary residence and the foundation is cracked, you can't even proceed with repairs that you would want to do on the property until the foundational issues are addressed. In fact, most people would probably pass by that home no matter how good the deal looked, because who wants to deal with a cracked foundation? It's something that needs to be fixed. It's something so vital and so integral to the home. Literally everything stands on the foundation, and that is your heart. The heart that you possess is so important to the way that you see the world, the way that you live in the world, the way that you approach and exist within your relationships. If you have heart issues, conditions of your heart will affect the houses that you build in life. The condition of your heart is so significant to God that he even says that he's not like man to look at the outward appearance. Rather, he looks at the heart of man. Some of us are out here looking good. We are out here looking good and enticing, but we have hearts that need reconditioning. The foundation from which we relate to people is broken, like one of a dilapidated house. There's vital work that we set out to do these last two episodes. The first was planning, which serves as your list of repairs needed. And then secondly, we were examining our heart in detail. We were dissecting it and discussing in the last episode how we can take a slow and calculated execution of that list. And like an old home, before renovations can be done, deconstruction must happen. It has to happen first. So in this episode, we are going to speak briefly about ripping out that old moldy drywall and taking down broken and outdated fixtures. You're assessing water damage. You're assessing the electrical updates that are needed. And more importantly, the foundational repairs that are needed that must take place before anything is added back into your home. You are clearing out outdated and broken habits. You're removing moldy and toxic ways of thinking and being. You're clearing your house. You're making room for the gift of love. A few years back, a woman named Marie Kondo became very popular based on her unique ability to organize and clean her home. She advised people how to release things from their home with an emphasis on personal contentment being the driving force for which one would want to clean and organize. Her method of organizing and cleaning was so popular that women all over the world were having cry sessions in their attics and their closets as they released things that were carrying agony and pain, and even things that just no longer carried any value. And I, like many of these women, make it a point to release when I acquire new things for balance and purpose and to keep my house healthy. We have to do that with our hearts today. We have to create habits out of releasing the things from our homes that carry agony, that cause pain and unnecessary pain. We have to relinquish the things that just no longer have any value to us. And this is such a tough decision to make when it comes to your heart and to your relationships. It is tough to build a habit out of releasing the relationships that you have accumulated along the way and that you have spent a lot of time and energy on. It almost feels like a waste. And I guess it can be viewed that way, but let me offer an alternative viewpoint. You can keep the things in your home and in your heart that are like waste to you, wasting your energy, wasting your time, wasting your efforts. You can waste away with those things if you'd like, or you can identify those things as waste, call them what they are, and release them as such. Now, please do not misconstrue my message. People are not waste. I would never say that, and never would I identify someone as such. And I certainly view everyone in God's image as image bearers of him, miraculous at that. However, I will say what we create with those people can literally be toxic. It can be toxic to our health and toxic to our mind, toxic to our bodies. Waste, moldy drywall, a dilapidated foundation can be absolutely detrimental to your health and progression in life. Because of this, you need to make a habit out of recognizing what is adding value and life and vitality to your heart and what is wasting it away. Now, I'm not Marie Kondo, but I do think it is important to make tough calls so that you can experience growth and health in your future relationships. These decisions are made in the quiet of your closet. They're made in your prayer time. These decisions are made during your workouts at the gym while you're spending time with the community. You might even be recognizing people that you're spending time with that you actually need to distance yourself from. These are moments of revelation, and they will come to you when you least expect. And perhaps you need to make a habit out of recognizing them and commit to the release in the moment. The beautiful thing about this is that sometimes you release a relationship or you release offense from a relationship, and then God returns that relationship to you new and whole. He returns your heart to a restored state. However, God can't return or restore anything that you won't release to him. Not saying that he is going to give you everything back, because that also is a hard truth as well, as God is not going to return everything that you have given to him, some of the things he actually wanted you to get rid of. There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them up, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Winter cleaning, like spring, serves as a time for you to give away the things that no longer contribute to the purpose that you were meant for. It means that you have to fix that cracked foundation before adding anything else to the heart that you are building. Create a habit out of releasing today and make room for the gift of love. Release. I'll see you in the next one.
Why don't you stay a little longer? You like what you like, right? Subscribe to the channel so we can spend a little more time together, and maybe comment your thoughts because I care what you're thinking. Love is the risk and the reward.